What it do, y'all? It's your girl Makeup and Travel, and for today's video your girl is here to bring you another video in my Project Pan series. This particular Project Pan video, I'm going to be updating you guys on my Pan-22 in 2022. This project I am aiming to hit pan in 22 eyeshadows in the year 2022. So if you're interested in hearing my update, hearing the good, the bad, and the ugly, let's get into it. Alrighty, so, okay, first of all, let me just tell you guys what's on my eyes. This should have went up yesterday if everything goes according to plan, and this is the Adept Cosmetics and Heather Austin palette. So this should be look 1 of 2. I should be able to get a second look filmed before Thursday and get that video up on Thursday. This should be going up on Friday, and I should have yet another video going up on Saturday. I'm pretty sure I uploaded a video every day this week. Anyways, so the good, the bad, and the ugly. So the good, I did make progress on some of these eyeshadows. I did at least touch every last palette once in this past month. The bad, I bought a lot of makeup and a lot of eyeshadows this past month, so I didn't get, I feel, as much progress as I coulda, shoulda, woulda. And the ugly, I don't even know. I don't know. So let's just get into it. The first palette that I want to talk about is my Dose of Colors Marvelous Mauves palette. In this palette, I am aiming to hit pan in Wine Stain, and that is this deep shade back here. Basically what I stated in my last update is that I'm going to attempt to use that pretty much as a liner, and when I was using it as a liner, I saw a dent forming, and I still see a dent forming, so I feel a lot of potential progress is going to happen. I just need to stop buying eyeshadow, or I need to be able to incorporate this more in my looks. Pretty much after this second look, I only have one eyeshadow palette on its way to me. And when I go to kind of get more information about eyeshadow palettes, kind of test them off camera or even on camera, I do mix my Project Pan eyeshadows in the mix then. So I am hopeful that this baby, you'll see some dents in here next month or next update, but only y'all know. Only y'all know. I don't know. Anyways, the next one I want to update you guys on is my Dose of Colors Sassy Siennas palette. And this one I see even less progress, mainly because I use this pretty much as a crease shade and not necessarily as a deepener shade. So yeah, I have aspirations that once I hit pan in Wine Stain from the Marvelous Mauves palette, that I will be able to then really focus on Sassy Sienna, which is the deepener shade here, in a very similar manner from this palette. So once again, aspirations. We are now kind of closing out April, which is the 4th month of the year, and I would have loved to have seen pan already in those palettes, but as I've said before, Dose of Colors has quite a dense formula, so I feel it does take quite some time to really get some use out of them. Next, something that I put in last month is my Viseart Dark Mattes palette, and I wanted to hit pan in this shade right here, which I like to call my mac and cheese shade. This is her right here, and as you can see, there's no significant dent, there's no significant progress. I think this is going to be another kind of formula like the Dose of Colors, where it's going to be hard to see progress because there's quite a bit of product in here. In these pans, you have 0.84 ounces of product in here, so I feel like it's going to take some time to really see some progress. But once again, always excited. I did do a tutorial when I first put this in, showing you guys kind of a new look that I can create, and I really enjoyed that tutorial, and I have been enjoying using that shadow and using that color in combination of these shadows. It's just a matter of, once again, not having as many things to test out and to review and to showcase you guys, and then I can really just play with the things that I already have and love. Next, we have the ABH Jackie Aina palette, and I did use this product. Specifically, I'm trying to hit pan in trust issues. I did use this product, and I do think that you can continue to see more wear and tear happening with that shadow, but it's not clearly deep enough that you can see pan, although once again still have aspirations that I can get there as I continue to really start to reach for these a little bit more in the month of May, as I truly think that I will have more time, as I will be slowly testing out and kind of getting my final thoughts on these eyeshadow palettes off camera more so than on camera, which is always nice. It's nice to show you guys, but it's also nice to kind of just play around off camera and figure it out and combine my Project Pan eyeshadows as well. Last palette that I did not get any progress in is my Nomad Cosmetics Harajuku or Tokyo palette. And in this palette, I am trying to hit pan in Mushy Mushy. There's definitely a dent in Mushy Mushy, but not significant amount of dent. And yeah, I'm continuing to enjoy this. I am happy with kind of the ideas in my head, the ideas that I intend to do with this palette and with the shade that I have in the project. So yeah, once again, definitely did not think that it would take me this long with some of these shadows based on kind of the massive progress that I had in the first couple of months, but I also had a lot bigger dents in those palettes, and so kind of starting fresh with these palettes, it's really giving me some perspective on how long it may or may not take for me to kind of pan my whole collection, which I don't think will ever happen, but it's good to know. So the last palette that was previously in this project that I actually hit pan is my Dose of Colors Frincation palette. And I'm very, very happy to have hit pan. It is a very minute pan, but it's pan nonetheless. And she is up there, okay? She's up there in that corner. And for this, I really got a lot of use out of it using a fluffy blending brush to really just blend this on my crease and on my lid. I had so much fun with this palette. I took it places, I traveled with it, and I think I will continue to really have fun with it, continue to reach for it if I had kind of like that mindset. I did actually use this for a wedding that I attended. I used it when I hung out with my friend that came down here. So this is definitely a palette that I'm going to continue to reach for, but as of right now it is being rolled out of this project. And when it comes to this project, like I said, April, I bought a lot of eyeshadow palettes. I also received a lot of eyeshadow palettes because some were like pre-ordered, and so I didn't get the chance to really dive into some of these as much as I thought I was going to be able to based on kind of the initial first week or so, but I think I am going to go ahead and throw in another palette. I was considering not and just sticking with what I already had, but I think I want to continue and just stay motivated. I already know what palette I'm going to put in here. I think it will help me to kind of curb my appetite on picking up certain products. So let me get it really quickly and then I'll show you guys. So I think this is going to be another hard one. I think that this formula is quite dense as well, but I think adding this particular palette and focusing on this particular shade, I think it will help with me using particular shadows that I already have in this project. So I am putting in my Dominique Cosmetics Latte 2 palette, and this is a palette that I got a lot of really nice looks from. I really enjoy the formula, and I will say some of these browns are actually quite neutral toned, which I really do appreciate. These shimmers are nice and basic and Betty. I appreciate it, but for this project I am going to actually put in this shade over here, which is called Matcha. I think bringing in this like light tealy shade will really help me to continue to kind of see some progress and a couple of those kind of bluey tealy greens that I have already in the project that I may or may not kind of feel some motivation to use based on the mattes that I already have in this project. So we are just going to go ahead and swatch these on my hand as I do every month. So we're going to go ahead and start off with Dominique Cosmetics Matcha. and this is what she looks like. Very, very pigmented, very blendable. I really love that formula, like I said, and that shade. Then let's go into the Sassy Sienna's Stay Sassy shade. This, once again, is just a nice kind of neutral brown that you can put in your crease or on your lid, or deepen it up, just depending on your skin tone and what you're looking for. Then we have the Marvelous Mauves palette, Wine Stain. Really, really pretty shade. I did get, like I said, a lot of use out of it as a liner, and I do look forward to using it as a liner, winged liner, anything like that, especially when I continue to kind of get more use out of lashes. I think using a liner will be beneficial for me. The last matte that I have in this project is the Mac and Cheese shade from my Viseart palette, and that is it swatched right there. It's not nearly as pigmented as the other mattes, and so blending out, you get kind of this faint orangey shade, but I still think that I am going to get a lot of use out of it because it's just a favorite shade of mine. Then I only have 2 shimmers or metallics in this project right now. And first we're going to talk about Trust Issues from Jackie, Aina, and ABH. This is a shade that I like to use not only in the inner corner, but also on the lid. And as you can see, it does pull a nice kind of olivey green, so I was using it in conjunction with that Dose of Colors Frincation palette a lot as an inner corner. I think this with just this Sassy Sienna palette shade will be really, really pretty. And then the Nomad Cosmetics Mushy Mushy shade, because that pulls so much teal, I think that with the Dominique's Cosmetics palette shadow will pull really, really nice. So these are the 6 shadows that I currently have in my project. This is what they look like. And for me, although I can hit pan, and I have hit pan in only metallics or shimmers in this project, I do prefer to have quite a bit of mattes to work with. And when I am not kind of testing out products, testing out eyeshadows, when I'm just kind of putting on makeup for myself to go to work, whatever, I do prefer to have a lot of mattes. So having a majority of mattes in this project with just a couple of shimmers, I think is going to be really, really beneficial and really, really helpful. I am also going to kind of use some tips and tricks to see kind of if that'll speed up my progress or not. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Check out down below to see my link to my Project Pan playlist this year, see the updates from previous months if you're interested, any of that and all of it in between. I will also have the tutorial for this eye look linked down below, and I will see you guys in my next video, like I said, which will be tomorrow. Alrighty guys, bye.